Now, the Johannesburg High Court has dismissed with costs the urgent application brought by 3 members of the ANC Free State PEC, that's the Provincial Electoral Committee, against the ANC. The disgruntled Free State members wanted the court to have the provincial list nullified. Our reporter Hitekani Magwedze is at the Johannesburg High Court now, and he joins us live outside the courtroom now. Hitekani, thank you for the time. But so this is really just breaking news just moments ago, really, and the judge nullifying this and saying indeed that they'd have to pay costs with the order, and that the urgent application was not successful.
Well, good afternoon, Aravile. Certainly breaking news. The Johannesburg High Court judge has ruled that the urgent application, she considers isn't urgent. She struck it off the roll, saying that for a number of reasons. Firstly, that they failed to prove that it's urgent, saying that they had enough time since the ANC released the candidate list for the elections. They would have had enough time to approach a court. Instead of approaching it now on an urgent matter, they would have been able to approach it to find redress, not as urgent as it is now pre-elections. Also saying that they failed to prove that they won't be able to get redressed even after the elections. So saying that it looks like the urgency of it was orchestrated, which was the standing point or the argument made yesterday by the ANC Mother Bodies Council. But just to give us his reaction on this matter, we are joined by one of the applicants, Mr. Dan Khotula. Mr. Dan, first of all, your reaction to the judge's finding?
Well, it's unfortunate that the judge ruled against us. We accept the ruling and the finding. We don't have issues. It's a contested terrain, this issue of agency. It's normally not just easy to get through the matters that are urgent, but we firmly believed that our issues was urgent, and we respect the judge's decision.
What is your plan from here going forward? After the elections, are you going to take this forward, considering how much the legal costs are and such? Are you going to take this matter forward?
No, definitely we are continuing with this particular matter. We will sit and revise our submission and file accordingly so that the matter can be heard. And that's the plan.
Lastly, Mr. Khotula, you accused the processes of the ANC that happened in the Free State, of course, the conference, of being unlawful and unconstitutional. You seeked recourse within the structures of the ANC, and you didn't find, according to you, you found none. Are you going to continue campaigning in the Free State for an organization that you feel stood up for unconstitutional and unlawful processes?
Yeah, our matter, more than any other thing, is not forcing our names to be on the ballot papers, regardless of how the processes have been rigged. Our issue in the main is to do anything possible to make sure that the rigging and meddling in the processes comes to an end. When you talk about a process that is called a democracy, you're talking about rule of the people by the people. Now, when you trample on the wishes of the people and you force your own personal desires and preferences, you force people that are rejected, that are not even wanted by people in the province to be in the list against their desire. You are creating for us as an organization problems. Look at Vose Chabalala at Malutia Pofung. They don't want him, he's not wanted there. He has messed up and things are known. I don't even want to go into that space. It's going to even affect the percentage at which we are also going to win that particular area of Malutia Pofung. So such things are problematic. We don't want this matter to appear as if we want to force people to be on the lists. Rightfully, we have been nominated. There is proof. There are a number of branches that have deposed confirmatory affidavits. We have been nominated, and there's correspondence from the Office of the Secretary General, National List Appeals Committee, that our matter was receiving attention. And the attention it received was selective. I'll make an example, like people in the name of Elsa Birokman. Her name was not on the ballot paper. She was nominated. She was not voted in the provincial list conference. Later on, she was put in the list as number 6. How do you rationalize, scientifically explain that particular process so that people can be happy? Tate Mahwe was very low on the list. When the National List Conference, this issue is raised to say things that are happening in the Free State are not right. Miraculously, he was placed at number 14. You see, so there are serious discrepancies that are inherent in this particular process, but our main issue is to do anything possible to make sure that the meddling, gatekeeping, and all these irregularities that are happening must come to an end, because they affect the organization negatively. Even our performance in the province is also going to be affected by all these things that are wrong.
We're going to have to leave it there, Mr. Khutulo, of course. Unhappy about the judge's ruling, but of course saying that they accept it. But we are going to talk to a representative of the ANC spokesperson, Mr. Mr. Lukhet, of course. Yes. Mr. Lukhet, I'm going to ask you the same question. What's your reaction, first and foremost, to the ruling?
No, thank you very much. As the African National Congress, we are once more vindicated from the process of objections with the IEC to today's court ruling. We are clearly vindicated that our processes, in particular of the lists, are overboard, are transparent, and follow our internal democracy, as well as the guidelines that we have set for ourselves as the African National Congress. We want to encourage members of the ANC who have grievances to follow internal mechanisms, and even up until now, our processes are still open. Lutula House is open, all our provincial offices are open, all our regional offices are open. If you have any quarrel or any issue, you can raise it there. It's wrong for members of the ANC 14 days or 2 weeks before the voting day to bring an application, which application, if we could have found otherwise, it would have been having adverse ramification for our electoral fortunes as an organization. Even if you may be aggrieved, you must know the organization is bigger than you. And that's an understanding that we are all taught as members of the ANC, that the movement is bigger than us, because we have many who died in exile, who died in prison, who were shot on the streets. And up until today, all of us knows that we are volunteers in the ANC. None of us has a birthright to be a member of a parliament or a member of the provincial legislature. We get these particular positions at the behest of our people, and that's our understanding. For us to want to force through court actions to be on the list is wrong.
Mr. Lukhet, aren't you concerned, though? You have multiple of these cases. There was one happening in Mpumalanga yesterday. I understand there's one in Limpopo as well. Are you not concerned that because these aren't just regular members of the ANC, these are somewhat leaders within the ANC in their own right, in their own areas, are you not concerned that these fights will cost you on the ballot paper?
Look, we are concerned. That's why we are defending all these cases, because if they are left unattended, they can create a situation that is unwarranted. And we want all members of the ANC, in line with the directive of the National Executive Committee, in line with the directive of our Commander-in-Chief, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, that all of us now must focus on the election campaign. That's what we need to deliver. And that's our understanding. To want to challenge issues through the courts when we have an opportunity to raise them internally, we find it very strange. And it's very clear, we are not going to be defocused, we are not going to be deflected. We are marching forward to ensure that come the 8th of May, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, his mandate is renewed as a President of the Republic, as the Chief Executive of the Cabinet, as a Commander-in-Chief of all armed forces of the Republic. That's what we are focusing on. to get the ANC victory, and overwhelmingly so, come the 8th of May. We don't deserve to spend such a long time. I mean, 5 days in court, just preparations of papers, as well as sitting for 2 days. I mean, that's counterproductive. Can members of the ANC, for once, stop being selfish, stop being insecure, stop their infidelities, and allow the movement to lead our people? Because it's not about us as the leadership and membership of the ANC. The ANC is an instrument of liberation in the hands of our people. It belongs to our people. We need to ensure that the economy grows, there are jobs, houses are built, roads are built, education is provided. That's what our people want. They are not interested in these court actions.
Right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Of course, the spokesperson of the ANC, Mr. Dakota Lokhweta, of course, happy about the ruling there. But it is clear the court cases that have been happening across the country may just cost the ANC come election day. But I mean, that remains to be seen. For now, though, it's back to you in studio.
Yeah, my colleague there, Hitekani Magwedze, of course, out at the Johannesburg